Okay, you guys, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. It is April the 25th, 2021, and it's a very special day for me in a bunch of different ways. One of the ways is that 7 years ago today, I met my husband. And so we had us a little, I guess you almost would want to call it a blind date, but anyway, I knew it was coming, but I'd never seen him before until he came to my door. So anyway, and then 3 months and 3 days later, we got married. Also, today is my stepdaughter Sophia's 17th birthday. And so that's pretty awesome. So, and then the third thing is we got the Boss Babe call with the amazing Christy Rossi tonight. So we're excited about that. I'm going to introduce her in just a minute. My name is Colson-Eyre, and we welcome you to the Boss Babe Call. I know a lot of you are watching via YouTube on another day other than Sunday night. So, hey, if you're watching Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we don't care. I hope you get something out of it. And I know you will. I know you will. So before we get started, I do want to tell you about, I'm sure you've seen the big scoop about this new product, and this is called micellar water. Now, it's spelled mice and then LLAR. So, of course, I was saying micellar. You just don't even know how to say it. But I watched a Mary Kay video, and she called it micellar. Mice, like a mouse, but mice, lure. Okay, so micellar water. And so it's the same size, you guys, as the eye makeup remover. Well, just about. It's a little bit taller. Here we go. These are the two products. So let me tell you a little bit about them because it's an early offer. Consultants and directors are able to order tomorrow and on the 26th. I don't know if it's live midnight Central Time tonight. If you happen to be up, you can look. Otherwise, check tomorrow and it will be available for you to order. Okay. So you might think, what is that and what does it do? Okay. So I'm just going to tell you really quick, and there's a lot of videos you can watch on it, but the micellar water is $17. And it says, never miss a fresh face again with a quick, versatile way to clean your skin. Whether you're in a rush, on the go, post-workout, or at home, Mary Kay micellar water works as a quick cleanse on its own or before you use your favorite Mary Kay cleanser. So what does it do? It attracts impurities. It helps break down face makeup. It cleanses the skin gently. It leaves the skin hydrated, and there's no need to rinse. So are you somebody that likes to go camping, but you still need to wash your face and you can't get to running water easily? You could take your little micellar water and you can put it on a cotton pad, and you just can take all your makeup off with it. Now, what we still recommend for your eyes is to use the eye makeup remover. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. So you really want both of these. All right. And so one of the things that, we used to have the Mary Kay facial cloths, and everybody loved those because you could take them to the gym or wherever else and just wet them and then wipe your makeup off. So, and then Lori Hogg, if you've ever had some of her training, she talks about double cleansing, where it's just like she talked about how you sweep the floor before you mop it. You would never just mop the floor without sweeping or vacuuming first. So this is kind of like sweeping the floor. Okay. And then your cleanser is mopping the floor. So when I've used it and just taken my makeup off with this. And then I use my foaming cleanser with my Time Wise Repair. One of the things that I will tell you on the back, it says, apply a small amount to a cotton ball or a pad. I did not do that. I saw that and I thought, that's not going to be enough. So I drenched a cotton pad and I took it off, and then I did it again. And then I saw in a couple of different director things, they're like, it's kind of sticky. They're like, because if you use too much. So try it just with the directions. That's why they put them there. It's just to put a little bit on there and wipe it off. Now, there's a little special deal they're doing. They have these round cotton pads that you can actually wash. They're reusable, and they have a little mesh bag. So there's 5 of them in a bag. So you could use them and then throw them in the wash machine in the little bag and reuse them over and over. Okay. And so what they're going to do is they're going to sell these as a bundle. You can also buy it separately. They're going to sell them as a bundle for $34. Okay. Because it's 17 and 17. And you're going to get 5 of the cotton rounds free. All right. So that's the special. And Nathan Moore has given our company a big challenge. I think they want us to sell 350,000 of them. It's either 350 or 325,000. We'll just say 350. Okay. And so I'm surprised he didn't say a million. He usually likes that number. But anyway, it's a big challenge and it starts tomorrow. And the challenge goes from now till I'm not sure about that. I want to say May 5th, but you guys can double check. But I just want you to know that this will help of course, your April production. It'll help you get the bracelet for this month for the Spark a Chain reaction. And also you can start using it. So they also are going to have the minis. Now, the minis do not come with the bundle. You'll have to buy those separately. They're $250. And so they will be the little minis, kind of like how we can get the eye makeup remover minis and things like that. So you may want to order some of those, and maybe, you could give them as a free gift if someone bought the bundle, or, you could give it as a free gift. Someone spends $50 with you, whatever you want to do. Okay. So that would be a really nice free gift, especially for people that work out, because they could take that little mini and they could take that to the gym with one little cotton pad, boom, clean their face right at the gym and go. So there you go. That is the Cliff Note versions on the micellar water. It's pretty cool. I think you're going to like it. And the best way to sell product, you guys know this, is to use it yourself. So you want to get this, use it yourself. I would go ahead and use it in front of you right now, but I'm not. So we'll do that on another day. I may do that on my unit call tomorrow night to show how easy it takes off your makeup, but just a little explanation. And then of course in May, there will be some other new product that will come out. Directors, we can order that tomorrow, and consultants, you'll be able to order that May 1st. And there's some other exciting things available that's going to be fun. So go ahead and get going, do some pre-sales, tell all your girls that are, work out or gym or whatever. And you can use it in the morning and at night. So I personally will still be using my cleanser, because one of the things they did mention is this is not age fighting. Okay. So yes, it's cleansing, but it's not age fighting. And our foaming cleanser and our 3D 4-in-1 cleanser, they are age fighting. So I would recommend you use both. But in a pinch, maybe your water gets cut off from a storm, boom, you can do this. Okay. The minis are section 2 and they're $250. Okay. So that's my little commercial for the night. And let's get on to the rest of the program. I know a lot of you probably watched the Rock and Red yesterday, and it was so fun. A lot of you that did it. And let me just say, seminar is going to be ready to be registered for seminar pretty soon. So you want to make sure you get on that. Those of you that missed the Rock and Red rally for whatever reason, don't let that happen to you again. Make sure that you register for seminar and be a part of the fun, because, Mary Kay, they're doing the best they can to have something for us virtually. And so we want to participate, show how much we appreciate it. And it's always fun when you're winning, right? So we did get some fabulous prizes for that. Mine, I should have brought them right here to show you, but anyway, it was a lot of fun. Okay. So let me introduce our guest speaker to you. I'm so excited. I've known Christy for a while, I don't really know how long, but I know she's been a director. Possibly even before she was a sales director, I knew Christy. And so let me read her accolades, and then I'll tell you what I love about her. Okay. Christy Rossi. She began her Mary Kay business in October of 2007 in Chicago, Illinois. Starting off as a hobby, she didn't truly decide to get to work in her business till after moving to Florida and strengthening her faith and work ethic in July 2015. Since that time, she has worked fearlessly to break records and blow minds. Debuted as a new sales director in January 2016, she hit all 3 new director challenges given in her first year, making her a Triple Crown achiever. And that's a really big deal, you guys. All of you DIQs, new directors, you want to strive for that. Earning her $3,000 in bonuses and 3 gorgeous rings. Excuse me. As well as being in the top 3 directors in her debuting class out of the entire company to achieve what we in Mary Kay would call the Dean's List. This is a big honor, and not many achieve it. She also has earned 16 months of gold medals, which a gold medal is when you recruit 5 people in 1 month. Okay. 3 of those months being a double gold medal. That means she recruited 10 in a month. She has 35 quarters as a star consultant, the use of 5 Mary Kay career cards in only 4 years, earning the first 3 in only 18 months. And the most recent being the super duper XT6 pink Cadillac. The first car in directorship in only 3 months' time. double star achiever in 2016, triple star achiever in 2017, 2019, and 2020. You guys, triple star is when you do the court of sales, the court of sharing, and unit club. And there's very few people in it. Okay. You win a beautiful necklace, diamond necklace, and you get to add to it every time you do it. She has been in the top 10 court of sharing for all of Mary Kay National Area 4 years in a row. She was number 7 in the Sapphire Seminar of Sharing, Court of Sharing in 2017. And get this, in 2020, she was crowned Queen of Sharing in the Mary Kay National Area and first runner-up to the Queen in the Sapphire Seminar. That was last year, you guys. Christy's led her Blessed Believers unit to the $500,000 circle of achievement in 2020 and plans to bring them into the $1 million circle in 2021. Her largest commission in 1 month already hit a high of $14,178.56 in 1 month, you guys. She has a goal to become a national sales director and build worldwide. She earned the company's paid cruise to the Bahamas, Destination Red, we all remember that, in 2019, and her qualifications in only 61 days. This year, her seminar goal is to earn the trip to Spain and take her husband on another all expense paid trip. Actually, this year it will be to get $10,000 and she can take her husband wherever she wants to with that. Christy and her husband, Tom, have been married 4 years. This fun couple has a blended family with 4 adult children. Joey and David live in Florida. Brian and Amy are in Chicago. They're proud of all their children and the adults they've become. And so you guys, Christy is a lot of fun. She came to my house a few years ago. She called me. She goes, hey, I'm coming through. Can I spend the night with you? I'm like, okay. I didn't really know Christy that well. So she came, she spent the night. We had us a great time. And Christy, I don't even remember if you were doing something in Valdosta or just zipping through. I think you were zipping through to some other cities around me. But anyway, it's been a joy to watch you become a sales director and then move up that ladder and then in that XT6 and then having your best year yet. I am just really so proud of you. And it's just an honor and a privilege for you to be able to speak to all of our boss babes today. So without any further ado, you guys give some, virtual hugs and virtual claps to my friend, Christy Rossi. And Christy, I'm going to let you take it over, sister.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Cleta. I'm really honored that you asked me to be on this call, first of all. So thank you. And I think it's hilarious how you're like, she just called me up and asked me if she could spend the night. And I'm like, heck yeah. I surround myself with those that I want to trade places with. And so if I can get some of that juju off the Cleta's guest room, that was so fun. I had actually recruited somebody in the next town over and was coming to do her debut. I had just earned my Cadillac. It was very exciting. I was talking with Allison Carter today and said, I'm going to have to do that again because I need to see your new house.
That's right. Come on.
Watching you do all that power washing and decorating of this new house. I'm very
Hey, that's no lie. Listen, that takes raw talent, girl.
Right. So I see some familiar faces. Maria Gonzalez, hello from Chicago. I am going to be there in a couple weeks. I can't wait to see everybody. And some of my unit members are on here. And I see Rosie and Sayla. Hello, everybody. So hello, I am Christy Rossi. And yes, Cleta, I think we met right at the same time that I met Allison, which was about 6 years ago. But I had started my business in Chicago, like you had said, and I've been in the company now for 13 years. But for the first 7 years of my business, I was what we call a savvy shopper. I looked twice as good at half the cost. And I was a single mom living up in Chicago, working a full-time job. And really just, if an unexpected bill came up, I'd put together some baskets and, sell some Mary Kay. And I had gone to a handful of conferences. I went to the conferences that would happen on the weekend, like what we call January Jumpstart, they call Chicago Rama. And I would go to those things. And so secretly, I was praying for a layoff so that I could work my Mary Kay business because I wasn't bold enough to quit my job to do that. And lo and behold, I lost my corporate job. And so I said, I'm going to work Mary Kay because I knew that there were more women in Mary Kay making over 6 figures than any other company that I knew about. And the fun part about that is that a month after I lost my job was when I met my current husband. So he's never known me working in corporate America. And he's just known me as a fun gal with a goal of becoming a sales director and earning a free car. And so the first few years that we were together, I didn't go straight to the top because I was really just trying to figure it out, right? Get my footing, and a lot of life had happened. So after a year, we blended our families, and Tom was offered and at that point, like, I had literally gotten my business paying for itself, but wasn't paying the bills, right? And so we decided to blend our families, and he was offered a job here in Florida, and that's where I'm at now. I'm in Central Florida. And so we moved here 7 years ago, and a lot of life happened when we decided to take that move. And people thought we were nuts, and we probably were, but it was honestly like the best move I could have ever done for myself. And what happened was I had to fight for custody of my 16-year-old. The house that I owned there, the condo and the car, I lost it all. I had to file a bankruptcy. I was on public aid. Like, I'm not looking like a successful Mary Kay consultant at that point. And we would get excited over every $20 sale, every single appointment we would get really excited about, which we still do. But, when you move on and you get past the objection, you overcome objections and you get a little bit bolder in your sharing and asking, it just becomes one of those things that you look back on and go, wow, I used to be so scared to do those simple things. We were just talking about this yesterday at the Rock and Red Rally. One of my consultants said, what were you like when you were at my stage, right? And I was scared to death. I remember buying a Mary Kay shirt so that I wouldn't have to say anything. And somebody actually came up to me and said, oh, you sell Mary Kay? And I went, uh-huh. And I just kind of walked away. And my husband was like, wait a second, she brought it up to you. And that's what you told me you needed. You needed people to bring it up, and you'd get their phone number, and then you're going to sell them Mary Kay. And so he wouldn't let me go into the car until I got a phone number. And that was probably one of the best things that he can do. He loves to hold me accountable. But through that move, okay, so I had to then stay in Chicago, move back in with my mother at 40 years old, and fight a custody battle as my life and my boyfriend at the time moved to Florida. And I did win that custody battle and got my son here. And then my mom got really sick and she ended up passing away. But I got to spend the last month of her life with her. And I know that wouldn't have happened in corporate America. I would have gotten 3 days to grieve her. And that's because she lived 1,000 miles away. And that's after she's already gone. And so when all the dust started to settle from that, and we realized that, the flights back and forth and all of that just caused us more debt as we were trying to get out of. My husband and I had a conversation basically saying, Mary Kay needs to start making us some money, or you're going to have to go back out and find a job. And so I was really at a crossroads there. Like, what am I going to do? I looked for jobs. I actually called my number one consultant who was serving tables, who I had promised that she would not have to serve tables the rest of her life because she has a Mary Kay business, and asked her if they were hiring. And the best thing she could have said to me is, no, they're not hiring. You're going to become a sales director and earn a free car, right? And some of my sales director friends at the time were like, I want you to put 4 hours a day into your Mary Kay business before you start putting 4 hours into another job that you're working for somebody else's, dreams and goals and all of that. And so I really prayed about it, and my faith at that time was lukewarm at best. But I'm doing all of these things, all of these parties, and saying, Mary Kay lived her life in the order of God first, family second, career third, and that's what we do in Mary Kay. And I really wasn't doing that. And so I prayed, like, is this where I'm supposed to be? Or am I really just supposed to go out and get a corporate job? And literally within weeks, I was introduced to Allison Carter. Allison Carter lit the biggest fire under my butt. She's one of Cleta's best friends. I know all of you know who Allison Carter is. And she just basically, she gave me the math. Okay. How many faces are you putting the product on? How many people are you sharing the opportunity with? And if you're serious, get to work. Because she said, well, what are you going to do to become a sales director? The first time I met her, I had earned some kind of special training with her because I was in my red jacket wearing some kind of orange skirt with it and a striped cotton shirt that was just ridiculous. I have a picture today looking back at that first meeting with Allison. It's just hilarious. But I said, well, I've heard that there's a 3 + 3 + 3. So I'm going to do 3 parties and 300 in sales and 3 sharing appointments. And she said, I thought you said you wanted to be a sales director. Sales directors do more than the 3 + 3 + 3. How about you do 1 interview every day? You interview 1 person every single day and ask them to join your team. And I took her so seriously, you guys, that we still laugh about this today. I started interviewing 1 person every single day. And if they didn't join my team, with or without trying the product, I have recruited without having them try the product first, but you immediately get the product on them, okay? If they didn't join my team, then I asked them to buy product and try the product. And I asked them who they could refer me to. And literally that is what built up my unit. My debuting unit was a lot of people I had never even met before in other states. Like, no, you know what? This isn't for me, but you need to talk to my daughter. Or I'm just going to sign my daughter up and I want you to call her and tell her what to do with it. And so I took every single interview that I was doing and took it seriously, whether they were serious about the interview or not. If my friends wanted me to hang out, which one of you am I interviewing? I'd interview their husbands, who would then lead me to a cousin or a child or, an adult child or whatever. And so everybody that I talked to, they knew I was serious. And in less than 5 months after meeting Allison, so I met Allison and I think it was like 2 weeks later, I went to seminar. And so at that point, I have 14 interviews under my belt because I'm still interviewing every single day. And let's get it, let's be real. Sometimes they'd cancel and there'd be days that I do 3 interviews in a day and there'd be days that I do no interviews, but I averaged 30 a month, non-negotiable 30 a month for 90 days. Okay. And less than 3 months after meeting her, I became a sales director and earned my first free car. 3 months later, after debuting, earned our second free car in the Equinox, and then a year later got into the Cadillac. And so we've done a little bit of a career car cha-cha in that time. After we earned our first Cadillac, we fell out of that into a Traverse, which is not a bad problem to have, but then quickly got back into the Cadillac after that. And so this company is beautiful in the way that it allows you to grow and to ebb and flow and really work at whatever pace you want to work your business at, So when I start getting frustrated with my business, with my team members or, my unit or myself, I remember that initial goal that got me there is do 1 interview a day. If you are really serious about what you want to do, you need to double, triple your efforts, right? And so I always give Allison the credit on that for just giving me that challenge, because I don't even know that my brain was at the point that I could understand that unless somebody just kind of pointed at me and said it. And so I've always appreciated her for that. And I've always worked with everyone that I'm coaching and mentoring in my team or my adorables, that I stretch them the same way. And really, nothing happens in our comfort zone. And so you have to be able to do something different. I watched last week's Boss Babes call. I haven't been a part of these calls, but I did watch last week's, and just all the great things that Linda Tupin taught. Those are the basics. Those are the simplicity of our business, and we make it more complicated than we have to a lot of the time. And so it's really just being passionate about what your goal is and really putting the work behind it. Somebody had said, and I don't remember if this was like John Maxwell or National or who it was, but if you want to do what I do, you have to do what I did. And so when you're wanting somebody's position, like literally just ask them, what did it take to get there? And just start putting the work behind it. So I'm no longer in debt. I'm no longer on public aid. And I can really solidly say today that Mary Kay is my passion. This is what I will do forever. I don't let it stress me out. I do get big goals that make me want to throw up in my mouth and make other people laugh. But I really feel like if I'm not making anybody laugh, then my goal's not big enough. So I hang around people like Cleta. I ask if I could stay at their house. They're like, who's this crazy lady? She's just crazy enough that I'm going to let her stay at my house because I want to see what this is about. Yeah.
Is it time for me to ask you questions?
I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the things that I know that if I was a consultant listening to you right now, I would say, Christy, where did you find one person a day to interview?
It goes back to that Linda Tupin saying, like, what is your wedding list? If you were to get married tomorrow, who are the 150 people that you're going to invite? And you literally just start with those people. Who's in your phone? Who's on your Facebook page? You know, these are people that are your friends. Now, don't interview the Mary Kay consultants that are on your Facebook page, but everybody else.
Mm-hmm. And did you tell them that you had a goal to talk to someone every day, or did you just have a reason, or how did you do that?
Right. I mean, honestly, I can still just give that script like it just kind of flows off my tongue because I've said it 5 million times, is that I'm in leadership training right now and I'm required to share this opportunity with one person every single day. I get it. It's probably not for you, but if you give me 20 or 30 minutes of your time, I'm going to share what I'm most passionate about. And that way, you know more about what it is that I do. So at the end of that conversation, if it's still not for you, you can act as my talent scout, because everybody knows somebody who's praying for an opportunity like Mary Kay.
That's beautiful. And did you, for the most part, did you call them or did you text that, or did you do like a voice text?
Yes.
All of them. I love it. I love
all
it.
of the above. Yes.
I love it. Well, because sometimes when you're listening to a speaker, I know as a consultant, I'm like, okay, well, how did you do that? And so obviously you are a master recruiter and you've recruited so many people and you've done a great job getting them qualified too, to be in the National Court of Sales. I mean, sharing. Well, and sales as well. And so, Christy, I know one of the things that you do well is I know you do a lot of parties and you do a lot of networking with business groups. And if you don't mind, I would love for you to share a little bit about your networking and how because I know you have a lot of professional women that you've come across, and I've watched that in your business the last couple of years. So, do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
I love that. That's a great question. So when I moved here from Chicago, I knew nobody, no friends, no family. Like, we just moved here for Tom's job, and I can move here because I can sell Mary Kay anywhere, right? So I met one woman Tom met her walking the dog while I was fighting for custody of my son. And when I got there, he said, this woman that I met walking the dog, she loves Mary Kay and she wants you to come by. And here's her address. I didn't waste a second. I grabbed a book and I went walking over to her house and knocked on her door and got to know her. And this woman has been so pivotal in my life. And that's where, you have a gut check or a hesitation or anything like that. But like, that's exactly what you need to do. And that's where you need to go. Because I was really nervous to do that. Like, I don't know this woman, but I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna make this happen and I'm here, she's like the first person that said that she wants Mary Kay. So when we were talking, she had suggested going up to this performing arts center that we have in our neighborhood, and that they have a farmer's market every Saturday. And they also have a chamber of commerce. And I had no idea what a chamber of commerce was. Like, I thought you had to be a mayor or something in order to be in a chamber. I had no clue, right? And so I went up to the farmer's market and asked who ran it, and then got a table there. And literally, like, every single Saturday, I would be at that farmer's market and I would get 10 to 20 new names, and I would spend the week working through those names. And a couple of the vendors would come up to me and go, you really need to join the chamber. And it took me a little bit, but I finally said, okay. And I didn't know you could just go visit and then decide if you wanted to join. So I just went online and paid my dues and went in Tuesday morning as a new chamber member and just started meeting some local business people. And I will say that being part of the chamber really helped me with my professionalism. It really helped the professionals in the neighborhood as they saw my growth, and they see me now. I'm still part of the chamber, and I've joined many other networking groups to really take Mary Kay seriously. and see that it's not just a hobby that housewives do. This is a career. I make more than many of those people in that chamber, right? And I know that, I can tell that, and so it makes me excited to really, really set the bar high when it comes to any kind of direct sales. If you work it the right way, it's going to work for you. When you hear that somebody said, oh, I tried that and it didn't work, you just didn't work it right. You just need to do the things right and get in front of the people. And so being part of the chamber, I started to learn about other groups. Like there were women networking groups, luncheons for some ministries that we have out here, and Rotary. I was in Rotary for a little bit. I was in BNI, which is Business Network International. I know Maria does that. And so there's so many things that you can do, and there is cost that goes with it. But I'm telling you, when you're dealing with business people, they know when they say yes, that means they need to keep their word, because they're wanting you to do business with them as much as you're wanting them to do business with you. And so what I've learned through that is to ask people about themselves first. Ask about their business. How can I help you with your business? And they're in turn going to want to help you with yours. So if I'm having lunch with my girlfriend who has a staging business, I'm going to snap a picture and I'm going to give her a shout out for her business. Then she's going to want to in turn give me a shout out for my business. And now I've just gotten in front of her circle of excellence. That's on the brain. Her circle of influence, right? And so it's not about selling to every person that you meet. It's not about selling to every person that you know. It's about getting them to support your business and refer you to the people that they know. I have very close friends and family that don't use Mary Kay. But if they meet anybody that needs Mary Kay, they know that I'm working my business. They know that I have an inventory, and they know that that person is never going to have to wait and will get all the best information about their products. I've also gotten into vendor events. Anytime there's a vendor event, I find a way to get that table, right? Or to at least have my unit, my team in there working the table, because that's a great way to generate leads as well. And so that started by just going to a craft show or the farmer's market, like I said, and just asking, who's in charge of this? And then getting in contact with that person. They may already have a Mary Kay person, but now they know that you're interested. And so when that Mary Kay person is no longer coming, please contact me. I will take over this table. And so it took a couple of years, but I'm pretty much the go-to Mary Kay person in this area. And it's not that I take every table, but I know who to direct them to be able to handle those tables. So a lot of things like that, different businesses that really respect you as a business owner will let you put a facial box in there to help advertise for your business. And then you can offer a gift card. When 10 people sit down with me and give me their opinion from that business, I then raffle off a $25 gift card from their business to those 10 people. So they're going to encourage their guests, their customers to, enter that facial box or whatever it is. So many different ways. I mean, I don't want to overwhelm you with too many ideas, but when you're dealing with business people, they really want to help you because they want you to help them as well. But the key is, to be a woman of your word. I've also seen consultants say, yeah, I'll have your Tupperware party if you have a Mary Kay party, and then fall through on the Tupperware party. That doesn't look good on anybody. Like if you say you're going to have a Tupperware party, have that Tupperware party and make it $1,000 party. I worked so hard on a Pampered Chef party I just had. So I know when that woman has anybody looking for Mary Kay, she's going to send them my way.
I love that. I love all the different ideas because, ladies, you all live in different areas. Some of you may live in small towns and say, we don't have, but you have something. Everybody has a business in your town. And if not, get in your little car and drive a few minutes. And, the idea about giving a gift card or something away from whatever store you put the facial box in is excellent. I used to do that. I used to go to Longhorns and I said, do you care if I put this out here just for a week? I usually wouldn't wear out my welcome, just for 1 week, and they can get names, and I would buy a $25 Longhorns card. And I said, that's going to be the prize and a satin handset. And I mean, people fill it out right and left, so thank you for that. That's a great reminder and basically, what Christy is saying is just it's not just about take. It's about she's giving, and then people want to give back to her. That's what I've seen, right, Christy?
Absolutely. And, there's just a lot of different ways to network out there, but relationship network. Don't go into a place handing out your cards to people who haven't asked you for their card. I do not hand out my card. I want them to know who I am, and I'm going to get their number and text them right there, something like that. Another thing you made me think of is I also go to target markets. Okay, so you got to think about what is the event that you're looking to get into. Pauline and I, one of my consultants, is on here tonight, and she was approached to be a vendor at a volleyball tournament. And it was an insane amount of money for this volleyball tournament, right? And so I said, well, if this were at the Villages, now the Villages is somewhere that I will pay top money for a table because that is targeted market. That is an area where people live that can afford nice things and like nice things, right? And so that is our target market customer, people who are already buying top quality. But when you're going to a volleyball tournament, they're just putting those vendors there so that the moms have something to keep them busy in between games. That's not why they're there. If you're going to pay top money for a table, you want them to be there because they're shopping, because they're wanting to be approached by direct sales and whatever vendors are out there, right? I bet, rather than paying $500 for a table at a volleyball tournament, I'd rather go into Texas Roadhouse and do a fundraising, which a lot of different Texas Roadhouse and restaurants do. They'll donate 5% of their total sales to that night to the Mary Kay Foundation. And you're giving away a basket at the end of it, and you're getting everybody's name and number that's coming into that location. And so that's free. They don't even charge you to do that. You'd get way more names doing something like that because they're feeling like they're helping something out and they're out spending money already anyway, right? Or you're going somewhere where they're already spending money on themselves, like a hair salon or a nail salon, something like that. But just be smart about it. You don't have to spend $1,000 to get names, and you want to look at what is the return on your investment with that table. Is it going to be worth it? Do you know if they've had these events before? Were they successful? Was it before COVID, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in the COVID world, especially, will 10,000 people show up to that volleyball tournament? I don't know. Maybe they did before COVID, but I don't know that there's really going to be 10,000 people. And when they say that, they're counting the kids that are playing volleyball. So, you just have to be smart about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So the last question that I have, and then we'll open it up for everybody else, Christy, is during this virtual time, which I think you, and I know I have too, started already doing some in-person facials as well. But during the virtual time, what is your go-to as far as a virtual party or a virtual facial? What have you liked so far? Just any kind of tip you can give people on that part? Because even though people are getting back in person, virtual is not going away. It's always going to be an additional way to make money and see people from across the country. So share about what you like the best about it, or maybe a tip about that.
I like nothing about the virtual one. It's crazy because I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
But I get the necessity of pivoting, and that not everybody feels safe, getting together in person and that kind of thing. And funny thing is, the majority of this last year has been for my virtual business, really just kind of going live, doing a video, talking about products, Fab 5 and 5. I've done a couple, I am so sorry about these dogs.
It's funny because
a puppy that loves to terrorize my dog.
I thought it was another person. And I'm like, could y'all please mute? And I'm like, nope, it's Christy. Okay, go ahead. Don't worry about it, girl. Don't worry.
Tom's going to come get the puppy now. So that
it's no problem. It's no problem.
Come here, Penny.
So you do mainly kind of QVC style?
I love the QVC style. And I've also recently taken on the whole Jen Bessaker Facebook party. Yes. I watched her trainings. I've put it out to my consultants, but this is just in the last couple months.
Yeah.
And that has been hugely successful for me. And so don't beat yourself up if it's taken you too long to figure out how to do a virtual thing, or maybe you haven't even done anything yet. Like, just start today. Start today with something, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. When Allison said do 1 interview a day, I had to do the first one that was terrible. Then I did the second one that was terrible. And the third one that was a little bit better. You know what I mean? And the more you do it, it just kind of rolls off your tongue, because consultants will tell me all day long, oh my gosh, it just sounds so good. Can you say it? Can you do it? No, I'm this way because I've done it a million times. Just keep doing it. Read your flip chart, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to just get that knowledge. One of my consultants, Lily, who's on the call right now, she has Jen Bessaker playing in the background any chance she can. She's listened to that training probably a million times, so that when she does her Facebook Lives, that she just sounds like that, and makes it her own, of course, but she needed to get educated on it, and she needed to hear it over and over and over again. And that's how we learn. We hear things over and over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to join you up here. Okay. So I want to tell everybody that one thing that I want you to do is don't give up on, like, you might think I keep posting, like maybe you have a customer group. I hope you do. And if you don't, let me just say, take a minute tonight. It will take you 2 seconds. You go to groups and then you just hit a little button that says create group. And if you don't know what to call it, just put your name and put VIP customers. I mean, later you can come up with something super cute and fancy, but just put it and then go to your friends list and start adding them, and then start posting some videos from Mary Kay or from your sales director. Ask her to get on your customer page, her customer page, and then you can just copy everything she does. Because let me just tell you something. I've had, just even today, I went to church and this girl came up to me who doesn't buy from me, but I invited her to be on my customer page because she goes to church with me, and I thought she needs to buy from me. She's been on there for years. Okay, never bought a thing. Okay, I've known her for years as well. My sister went to high school with her. I mean, that's how long I've known her. Anyway, so she comes up to me today. I thought she was going to ask me something about church. I was sitting in the back. She goes, hey, I need something for my skin. And then she started telling me how she used Clinique, and then something's breaking her out and this and that. And so anyway, she's coming over tomorrow, but she said, but this is what I want to tell you. She goes, because I just keep seeing you posting some of your products, and you know, I don't like to get out too much yet because my mother's really been sick, and you know, I've been just trying not to be too social, and you know, and I thought, well, there you go. You know, you never know who's watching it. And then same thing this week, I had a girl text me. She's been a customer of mine for a while, but she goes, you know, I feel like I need to step up my skincare game, and I don't always wash my face at night. And she goes, I know that's bad. And she's texting me this. She goes, but I want to get the repair set. And she said, and just like Sayla said, because we just did a thing where we did the repair, the 3D, and the clinical solution, me and Latrice, and Sayla is 24 minutes. It's very short. And she goes, and just like say, I never thought about getting 2 cleansers because she did buy the cleanser. Anyway, she goes, so I want to get that whole repair set. I'm like, score. So you guys, you don't know who keeps watching it. And then another girl, she said she got her stimulus check and that her husband was getting golf clubs, but she wanted to get stuff for her face. I said, that's a great investment. So get you a customer page, put some stuff on there. If you want to start, put some of our videos on there, put some of Mary Kay videos on there. And then every now and then you just go live and go, hey, you guys, and just I want to tell you about these 2 products. Now, they're $34. You guys, you can get them today, and you just get on there and say that. They're curious. And I'm going to tell you, you'll get more looks than me because they've never seen you go live. So they're like, what? She's going live. I got to see this, right? Like me, they're like, oh, live again, next, probably, you know. So if you've been kind of timid about going live, just try it and you're going to be shocked. And you know what? It's going to sound just like you, and people love you just like you sound. So I just want to say that in there. So Christy, a lot of things that you said, I wrote it down and I put a little star by. And one of the biggest one was that nothing happens in your comfort zone. And that just the whole simple thing of interviewing one person a day. I absolutely love that. I love everything you said. So I'm going to give some of the other people, you guys, I'm not going to call on you tonight. Just unmute and start talking. I'm going to take our spotlights off, Christy, so we can see them. Okay.
Hey, it's Janet. Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? One of my favorite things was the way that Christy treats people. I can tell that she loves her people and that her people absolutely love her. And I love that when she goes into businesses, she just doesn't go to throw a business card out. She wants to build a relationship. And so, Christy, I love that. I love your heart. Thank you so much for sharing so many tips and inspiring everyone on this call.
Thanks, Jana.
Thanks, girl.
Hey, Christy, this is Sayla.
Hi.
Hey, listen, you are such an inspiration because I knew you when. I knew you back in the day, and I know you now, and you are a rock star. And I appreciate your heart. I appreciate you sharing. And really, I appreciate your work ethic. I think a lot of times people, you know, when you say you have to put forth some effort to really succeed in anything, and it just doesn't, you know, fairy dust just doesn't sprinkle down. And so work is a great 4-letter word, and you make it look so fun. And you're just you're an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you, Sayla. Yeah, to all of you out there, you know, I think the most important work that you do is when nobody's asking you what you're doing. What are you really doing?
Okay, who else wants to share?
Christy, I'm Sharon Strasberg. I'd like to share and just say, you make it so simple. And I knew it already that it's one interview a day. And that would be so easy to talk to my consultants about. And I'd forgotten that thing, that it's one interview a day. So I'm going to start using that tomorrow.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Awesome, Sharon. And you know, you guys remember in March where we did the reach out to one person a day for the first week? Here's the deal with one a day. It becomes a habit and you're like, yep, it's easy. I got to do it. And you make yourself do it. Sometimes you do have to make yourself work. So thank you for bringing that out. Okay. Who else?
Hey, Christy. This is, go ahead, Maria.
Oh, that's okay. Hi, this is Maria. Christy, so nice to see you. I knew you when, you know, I remember being at your debut, and I do know, so I am, you know, I'm really excited to hear your success and how you keep it simple. And you shared with me before, poolside leadership, one a day. The key thing is that you have to be consistent. You know, it will work, but then if you stop, you have to be consistent. And that's what you've been doing consistently and persevering through all your obstacles. So congratulations. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Maria.
Thanks, Maria.
Hey,
Maria's part of my lineage in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, Laree Barfield.
Hey, Christy. I just want to say, I love your funky hair. It's always so cute. But I'd like to say that I knew you back then, and it was so great to hear your story, because stories are so pivotal about what we've all been through. And I'd heard you say I was on public aid, but really didn't, you know anything more than that. And so, you know, I just love it, and love the fact that the thing that hit me too was, you know, when you were challenged to work your business 4 hours a day before going and looking for another job. Because you're right, when we really work, Mary Kay, it really works for us. And so that, and having, like they've already said too, you know, one a day, it's just amazing what the results that you got from that. So I'm with Sharon, one a day. That's it.
Awesome.
That's right. Okay. Anyone else?
Well, you know, I have to say something.
Heck
Go,
yeah, girl.
Or Christy will call me afterwards and get me in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. So, you know, I want to just kind of give you like a quick perspective. First of all, I do want Christy to send me that picture of her so that I can share it, because this is what Christy came to me looking like even after 12 years of being in Mary Kay, you know. But there was a sparkle in her eye, and she was ready to work. And I think that what you'll find, and even true today, is that she attaches herself to people that are better than her, that are going somewhere. And it started when she met me, but it wasn't anything magical that I said. It was that Christy was ready. And so it's, you know, she was okay with not hanging out with the normal crowd. She was okay with being set apart. She was okay with doing what her friends were not doing, and to make the difference. And so I just want to encourage the consultants that, you know, when you're ready to step up and really step up. And I remember telling Christy, an interview once a day. Now, the first day is going to be easy. The second day is going to be easy. The third day may be easy. By day 4 and 5 and 6, we'll find out if you're really ready. And I think I called her, or we talked like a week later, and she's like, I can't talk right now. I'm doing an interview. And I was like, oh, she's on day 7. She might really, do it. And I could see the fruit was coming in, was rolling in, and was just so excited, for her to see that when you work, it works. It's just like when you work it, it works. I mean, and so if you're watching and listening and you're thinking, well, how is she? What is she? There is no magic. She just worked it with intention. And that made all the difference. And then she's done a fantastic job of connecting with people and connecting with people better than her. And, it's just one of those formulas that is, constant and always inspiring. So
15
you're such
minutes.
a rock star, girlfriend. I'm so proud of you.
Aw, thank
Is that
you.
too late?
Love you,
Just
honey.
about 10 minutes.
Oh, we got somebody. Did you guys hear me?
We did.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Allison.
And here's the other thing I want to say too. The gift that Christy gave to me as a consultant that was adopted is that she set fire to my unit. So the decision she made to actually go for it inspired the other people that had been sitting with me for a long time. So here comes Christy down the pipeline, and then all of a sudden, all these other people allowed themselves to do the same thing. So the cool thing is that if you've been sitting in somebody's unit for a long time and you've wanted to go, when you make that decision to go, you are going to give so many other people permission to do it. And just because you went ahead and went for it, you know what I mean? And so that was one of the greatest things for me as a sales director, to see my people get inspired, because Christy did one interview a day, interviewing people, interviewing husbands, interviewing people, just going for it. So.
Right. And it's never too late. I remember when I had just earned my red jacket, I went to a director debut, Karen Farrow, and she had been in the company for like 10 years before she debuted. And she handed out these turtles. I keep it at my desk. And she said, slow and steady still wins the race. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. Just don't give up on the goal and continue to work towards that. And that stuck with me. And so, does it take 10 years to become a sales director from the day that you start? Only if you make it take 10 years. It could take 10 months. You just have to, like Allison said, decide. It was a decision that I made that I wasn't going to put this down. I wasn't going to go out and let somebody else decide how many vacation days I get. And if I get to go, visit a sick relative or a new relative that was born or anything like that. And so today I have the option, my cousin's getting married next week and I get to say, I'm going to come and I don't have to worry about what it's going to cost. I'm just going to be there because it's the first in-person wedding we've had in our family in a year and a half,
For sure. Well, you guys, I know if you're like me, we just got so much out of this. And Christy, thank you so much. I knew you'd do a fabulous job and you didn't let me down. And so we love watching you. I love watching a success story, someone who starts at a spot and then they just inch, like you say, inch by inch, but she's been taking a lot of leaps lately. So I am super excited to see that first top director trip, be on your accolades the next time you get introduced. And I just know the sky's the limit, girl. And so you guys, we'll just leave it with this tonight that, Christy, and we don't have time for her to talk about this, but because we're running out of time, but she decided to drive that pink Cadillac all the way to Detroit on the last day of the month to Aretha Franklin's funeral to be with all the Mary Kay girls. And so all the other pink Cadillac directors down in Georgia and Florida, we lived vicariously through Christy that day. And one thing about Christy is if there's a party going on or something going on, she does not hesitate to get in the car and she shows up for it. And she learns at every event, even if it's something fun like that, or if it's a workshop or whatever. I've noticed you, Christy, that you always participate, and I'm proud of you for that. And I'm super proud of your blessed believers. And you guys just got to pour it on these next 3 months, this month and the next 2 months. And you hit those goals that you started out with. I know you can do it. And we just love you, Christy. And I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, thank you, everybody. And there's lots of chat going on. We actually have about 25 people watching live on YouTube as well. So Christy, you blessed about 60 people tonight. So thank you so much again. And you guys, we'll have a great meeting next Sunday, because we'll kick off May with all the new products. We'll do a little product preview and anything that's going new. And so that'll be next Sunday night. So we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for all the chat. Christy, thank you so much again. And directors and consultants, thank y'all for coming live. And those watching later, hey, we're glad you're plugging in. So you guys have a great one. And